On my road trip to find the lost Spanish galleon by the Salton Sea, I got sidetracked. It wasn't just the looking for the lost Spanish galleon, but I ran across another fact about Salton Sea that kind of diverted me for this time. So I set off from Chiraco Station to the top of the mountains and headed towards the Salton Sea, taking into the Box Canyon. My ultimate search is still to look for the lost galleon, but once I finish this investigation, I'll get back to the lost galleon and get that one done. But now I'm heading down through the Box Canyon, which takes you right down to the Salton Sea. This is an unusual trip. That's why I spent a lot more time on the road for it. You got 17 miles, maybe 25 kilometers of this Box Canyon that actually at one time was called the shoreline of the ancient lake called Chiraco Lake, and it's just massive. Now, this Box Canyon was carved out by massive flash floods over the hundreds and thousands of years. Unusual area. It's got tectonic plates. It sits right on the SanAndreas fault. 4 years prior, this road was shut down for a number of months because of flash flooding through the whole area, destroyed a good portion of the roads, and they had to rebuild. And as you look, and I'm one of the few people traveling through here this time of year. It's just an unbelievable trip. It's so much geology in this area, from the tectonic plates that are lifting up. If I'm going to recognize, we are on the SanAndreas fault and also on the shoreline of an ancient lake, Chiraco Lake, which ties into my lost Spanish galleon. And we're going to be coming into the area of the Salton Sea. And it'll be off in the distance. What I found out doing my research for the lost Spanish galleon was the Salton Sea area. I mean, it was a man-made lake going back over 130 years, but the massive changes due to the Colorado River and also the Sea of California, which involves massive floods back 5 centuries, plays into my lost Spanish galleon. But then I find out, coming into this area, that not only has it got the flooding, but it also has epicenters of earthquake activity and geothermal volcanic activity. And I'm going to throw a little visit into Slab City, which ties into this. But now am I heading towards the area of the Salton Sea, which, very quick description is, it has shrunk probably about a third in the last 30, 40 years, and it's going even more. Oh, don't ask me what this is. But again, on the shores of the ancient lake that surrounds in the distance the Salton Sea, we have an area that at one time, back into the 50s and 60s and early 70s, was a playground. It was a big attraction for people to come boating, great resort areas, and you're going to see the contrast now. It's a disaster because of the shrinking of the
North Shore,
Salton Sea, the water toxicity. The Salton Sea is twice as salty as the ocean.
Better days.
Now, as I'm walking along the edge here, I'm a good well over a mile.
It's got to be
I'm going to talk about
up to the Salton
maybe
Sea now.
a couple kilometers from the Salton Sea, and you can see that little lagoon out there. Boats were launched out there to sea, so that's how much it has receded in the past years. Oh, I stopped at the yacht club, which is a mile and a half away. It's a senior center now. Stunning contrast. While I was in the region, they had a 3.2 earthquake, and they had swarms of earthquakes in this area, and it's just the actual epicenter for these small earthquakes, but it's at the very end of the SanAndreas fault. It's kind of a linchpin in this area. This area and the Mecca Hills are one of the most, what they call, active areas in California for volcanic activity. Now, there's what they call these
probably one of the last
volcano huts that supply a lot of geothermal.
But I went in, grabbed a drink
to the area. And it's probably the only store I found that was actually still open. I probably the only visitor
working
that
hard,
day.
But there's nobody
but this
around.
Entire area is
I
now
gave her a Canadian pen,
an epicenter of earthquakes
says, oh, my legs,
and volcanic activity, which supplies a lot of geothermal. to about 300,000 residents. Look at the contrast. 50, 60 years ago and today, and now surrounded by these volcanic, little kind of gas and magma. And now we come into the Slab City area, which is, made up of a lot of old retirees or people trying to get off the grid, but they're in what I call ground zero, and I'm putting this on. I looked at 2 AI programs and asked for a prediction about +7 earthquake in the area and starting. The high probability next 30 years is well over 80%. Probably most of the swarms are going on, and that's going to be another probability into the high 80s. So this entire area, volcanically active, earthquake active, is also center, which could be for another area. It's got one of the huge lithium deposits in the world they found here. But now we've got a shrinking sea, volcano and earthquake activity all rolled in the same area. So that Slab City is going to be the first to go. I'm going to have to get back to this area. It has got so much history, but I got to get back. I'm doing the research on finding the Lost Man Galaxy, which happens to have ended up in this area. So look at this. There's still a vent out there. So please check my other videos out. And my one of the Lost Spanish Galleon, I'm finishing off and tell you what happened in my investigation. So thank you. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Especially comment maybe some requests you've got coming in while I'm on the road.